Yes, thank you for telling me you started the recording. I started a second late now.
Yeah, well, boo-hoo. So, anyway, everyone, Marvel is relaunching and, as far as some people speculate, rebooting in May
They're
of
doing a new
2018.
52, guys.
Now, we don't know that, but people reckon it might be a soft reboot, because Marvel don't usually do reboots. They
Yeah.
do relaunches, where they basically just add a new status quo to everything. Like, just move around the teams, relaunch everything under like Spider-Man #1, Captain America #1, all that stuff. So basically, I feel Marvel need a reboot in comics.
I do agree.
You know, because I mean, there's just a lot of stuff that basically no one cares about, as well as basically say you say, Jamie, I want to start actually reading the comics. Where do I begin with Spider-Man?
You couldn't tell me, could you?
No, because I could start with all new, all different, amazing Spider-Man. But then Peter Parker's rich in that, then you might say, hey Jamie, how is Peter Parker rich? Which means go read Superior Spider-Man, then to understand what happens in that, you gotta go back to like Amazing Spider-Man 600 and stuff like that. So basically you have to keep going back to understand everything.
It's like it's like an always revolving door, just to go through this and read this and this and this and this to actually get a good understanding of it. To at a point, it's not
Yeah.
like a comic where you can just jump in at some, like, a new series starts, you can jump in, not know much about the character, you're fine.
So if you were made head of Marvel tomorrow, and you said, right, reboot, how would you handle it? No, do you want me to go first?
Yeah, because you've had more time to think about this than I have.
Right. I'll relaunch it. I'll get to the X-Men and even the Fantastic Four in a bit. But I'll relaunch it with the main characters of the MCU, because that's what most people want to see. They want to see Captain America or Iron Man.
Yeah.
And I'll essentially do it so there's like Captain. I wouldn't go over the origins again.
No, everyone knows the origins.
Yeah, I'll just say it so like there'll be like at the start of, say, like Iron Man #1, there's a catch up. Like he'll say, 2 years ago I was taken hostage, kind of thing.
Hmm.
And basically it'll just pick up, like it'll show him like going off to fight someone. It'll literally be like having a flashback or on the way to go and have a fight.
Yeah.
That's basically how I would handle it with all three of them. So that's how I would handle it before. Like he would say, I can't remember Force Comic Book origin. My memory was erased, and I thought I was a human called Dr. Blake, Captain America. Okay, so Captain America's the main one here. He would start in modern day. Like we would say, he was frozen. He woke up in modern day, but he's not an Avenger. He works for Shield. And basically, yeah, that'll make sense later. And essentially, all of them have their own issues for a while, and then basically we have Hulk. It is Hulk, not She-Hulk taking over, and he'll just be on the run, like how most Bruce Banner Hulk stories start. He's on the run.
Yeah.
And essentially, there's Hawkeye and Black Widow who are basically just appearing in the background of Captain America comics as well. Same with I suppose Scarlet Witch as well and Quicksilver, because we're going for the MCU team. And so eventually something big happens, say like Ultron happens, and how we introduce Ultron is like Hank Pym's in the background of the Iron Man ones. Like that's also how we hint towards Mr. Fantastic, like characters like that who are important to the MCU, but who don't, you know, who aren't that popular.
Yeah.
Just appear in the background. So Mr. Fantastic and Hank Pym are like Tony Stark's colleagues. I'm trying to think how I can sum up now.
I don't think you should go over the whole thing, but go over the basic idea.
Yeah, so then after that, there's been hints towards, like, Hank Pym says, I'm developing an AI, his name is Ultron. They've said that.
Yeah.
And basically, in, say, an Iron Man comic, Ultron flies off, And then Nick Fury turns up and goes, "What the bloody hell have you just caused?" And then basically he gets everyone together in the Avengers, and it'll be Hank Pym suited up as Ant-Man. Actually, not no, we'll go for old man Hank Pym, and he says, "Right, I have tech that can help us, but problem is I'm too old to use it."
Is that what we get? What's his name?
So that's when, like, yeah, but then he says, "Look, I know a guy who can take over," and then we have, like, we'll say we have a one-shot, just with Scott Lang basically just getting the Ant-Man suit. And then we have Avengers issue 1, which is basically, it has Ultron. And this is a big storyline, like almost an event, but it only takes place in Avengers. Like, it doesn't run over into Captain America for Cap and Hulk. It's all of them together, and then basically there's a bit where Cap says, "We need absolutely everyone on this." And then that everyone, like, it shows, like, Spider-Man turns up saying, "I was in school, and now this has happened, yada yada yada." Because we're going for Teenage Spider-Man, because he's the popular one.
Yeah, he's also, I'd say he's the classic one and more recognizable.
Yeah, so it's like Teenage Spider-Man basically just turns up and goes, "Hey everyone, you said everyone, I overheard this." And he turns up. Basically uninvited, and then we see the teenage, like the classic X-Men turn up, so, you know, the classic roster, don't you?
Yeah,
Like
Wolverine,
Cyclops,
yeah, Cyclops, Jean.
Oh no, Wolverine's in this universe, going around as Wolverine, but he's not an X-Man.
He's not an originally classic X-Men, but he's considered one at this point.
Yeah. But
Mainly because of Hugh Jackman.
Yeah. But we're doing like the teenage team, because back in the day, they were like the answer to Marvel's answer to Teen Titans. So that's what they're going to be again.
Yeah.
But there's like a Teenage Storm as well, just because why not? Because Storm's pretty popular. I am to think about this. See, that's going to be the first thing, and then that's how we're shown, like, Fantastic Four as well. Like, it's a full-scale Ultron invasion.
Mine would alternate slightly if you want to know how.
Yeah, sure, because I need to think of, like,
yeah, the way mine I'll alternate at that point is I would have the X-Men as adults at this point and have them been the X-Men for a while, so they're roughly similar age. They are obviously, Wolverine can't be a similar age, but like all the normal ones who age like people are similar age, like Tony Stark and everyone. So they're all roughly the same, and the X-Men have been around, say, 5 years by the time the Avengers start up. But like,
yeah, is it like the roster? Like, is it like Wolverine's on the team as well?
Yeah, because they've been X-Men for a while. So Wolverine wasn't an original one, but it's like he joined later. But they all like. Yeah, he's joined, say, a year into it, a few years into it, like picked between 1 to 4 years. Like kind of like how the movie was, like that far into it.
Okay, yeah, I can get that.
But I'd have that, but the question is, would Deadpool be around at this time?
I actually already had an idea for Deadpool, but I'll let you finish.
Because my idea is Deadpool happens after the Avengers, like, quite a bit, doesn't he? I never knew a timeline for Deadpool.
He came in fairly late, like all the X-Men were adults, and it was Cable's team, his X-Force, I think they were called, like Cable's first team. Yeah, because he first appeared saying, "Hey, I'm here to kill Cable," because he got a bunch of bratty teenagers together.
Yeah, so basically I wouldn't have Deadpool around for a while because of just the fact that he's around later.
See, with because with mine, like the next month would have like the first issue of like X-Men and Fantastic Four launch as well. So basically that will, and then through X-Men we'll have a Wolverine comic, because Wolverine will join up with the X-Men after that event. because we'll just say that he was a buddy of Captain America, because they were in World War II.
See, I'm not sure what I'd do with that, because...
Yeah, and then I'll introduce Deadpool through Wolverine.
Did Wolverine know about Deadpool, like, at all?
I don't know, to be perfectly. I can't remember that.
The way I would have Deadpool knows nothing.
Because that's it, Liam. That's just it. We're rewriting the continuity.
In my one, Wolverine would know there's a possibility of a Deadpool. Like, someone with his powers because they have his, like, DNA. So he would know there's a possibility of a Deadpool, but he wouldn't know for sure, like, who or what.
Yeah, see, I would have Deadpool turn up, but he would start off as a villain, like, hired to kill the X-Men.
Yeah.
And then he basically mentions to Wolverine, Weapon X sent me, which is what sends Wolverine off into his own comic, to, like, hunt down Weapon X.
Oh, I would have had, Wolverine and Deadpool meet, like, before that. And then, their first encounter, he's sent to kill the X-Men, but Wolverine's already doing stuff by himself at that point. And they say, go after Wolverine, because alone he's the most deadliest.
Or what if him appearing at, we'll just call it the Ultron event, him appearing at the Ultron event is what Weapon X basically used to find out he's alive.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, so basically if like all the other stuff spins out of that Ultron event.
Yeah. Or you have the reason why Deadpool exists is because of Ultron, and then say they need people to fight, like, who they can control. Because then you could link them all up to meet to the reason why he exists is because of Ultron. It's not normal, but I'm saying it'd be a twist, wouldn't it? If you were reading the comics, you found out the real reason Deadpool's made because of Ultron. So technically, Hank Pym made him.
Yeah. So also in the second month we'll have the first, like, we'll have Amazing Spider-Man issue 1. But at the back of every issue, there'll be a mini-story. Okay, so say issue 1. Spider-Man saves a kid named Miles. And then in the back of issue 2, we see Miles get bitten by a spider. And then that can basically start Miles becoming a Spider-Man, because Miles has become really popular.
Yeah, I'd say he's second most popular character.
Yeah. I'm just saying that's how I would introduce him. I would say, okay, so Peter Parker saved this kid, and that kid went off and basically get bitten by a spider.
Yeah.
And then it basically lead into, like, later down the line, Spider-Man finding out. And we'll say that they're friends. Like, Peter Parker knows Miles, like, outside of it.
I would say they fight about it at first, like they argue about what Miles should do. Like, should he become a hero?
Yeah, we'll say, like, he wears a Spider-Man suit as well, and then Peter Parker turns up and just goes, "What are you doing in a suit that looks exactly like mine?"
In my one, I reckon they would have a comic of Spider-Man versus Miles, like Spider-Man versus a new Spider-Man, or I don't know, what would you call it? Yeah, Battle for the Mask. And you would have them, like, actually fight about it, because you would have, like, Miles obviously wanting to be a hero, and Peter saying no, because he's, what, 14?
Yeah, but Spider-Man wouldn't be much older, he'd be like 16.
But I mean, he's saying because you are literally just a kid. But I think that would be, like, Miles' motivation to fight back, because you're saying, but you're not much older, etc. Yeah. And then you'd have the point of, is 2 years really big a difference?
Yeah, I would have the conflict, like, basically, like, how it leads into a conflict is, like, the issue, like, say, like, Amazing Spider-Man number 4 comes out, and we see that, like, there's always, like, a little mini Miles story.
Yeah.
So, like, say, like, after Spider-Man went home one day, and then, basically, he missed a bank robbery happening, Miles would deal with the bank robbery.
Yeah.
You wouldn't call the comic Spider-Man either, you would just call it Amazing Spider-Man. Then if Miles Morales was part of the main story, you would say featuring Miles Morales.
See, what was his Spider-Man name?
Spider-Man.
Oh, that's confused. Have they ever been Spider-Man at the same time?
Yeah, that's what they were in all new, all different Marvel.
That's confusing.
Oh no, Spider-Man was, his comic was called The Amazing Spider-Man, and then Miles was just called Spider-Man.
Oh. No, man, if you were in that universe, it would be confusing.
Oh yeah, well, Miles was the only Spider-Man on the Avengers at this point.
I would, the way I would do it differently, I would have the conflict between them last longer.
Yeah, it's like a rivalry.
But I mean, like, say, quite a few issues. And I would have the whole point of showing,
As a story arc.
yeah. But I'd have it ending up leading towards Spider-Man realizing that he was wrong and becoming a better person because of it. And realizing that, like, he can do what he wants. And what he can't do it by himself either. Like, say he doesn't lose someone, but something happens, someone gets injured.
Yeah.
And then they accept each other, etc.
Yeah, so it's pretty best. Okay, so the next thing would be Fantastic Four. So,
what origin would you give them?
Not the negative zone one, because that's too associated with the really bad Fox movie.
Yeah.
So we would say, we'll say that because obviously they were already in Fantastic Four by the time the Ultron event happened.
Yeah, I'd say, I wouldn't say for long. I'd say in groups it goes, say X-Men started like 10 years before everyone else. 10 to 5 years. Fantastic
So in your
Four.
version of it, that's what it'd be.
Yeah, 5 to 10 years, you can take your pick. And would the Fantastic Four have started before the Avengers?
There would already be a team and everything, there would already be heroes. They haven't really encountered anything too big yet.
I'd say
Like, they've
2
met
years. 1 to 2
so
years.
nothing like Galactus level.
No, nothing big, all small. Mole Man maybe, like a year into it.
Yeah. Okay, so now, in my one, I would have it so it's been like a year since the relaunch. And so the Avengers, like, they've had their things going on, same with Spider-Man. We'll have Spider-Man like occasionally meeting Iron Man and stuff.
Yeah.
But they basically said, you can't be an Avenger, you're a kid.
Yeah. Kind of works into
And
my...
so, okay, yeah. We would have our second event by now, which would be Galactus.
Yeah. So, in
And basically,
Galactus...
through Galactus, he would be such a big threat that a ship lands. When the Avengers are all beaten, a ship lands, and then a man in a red leather jacket walks out and goes, "No one worry, the Guardians of the Galaxy are here."
Ooh, that'd be a cool one.
Yeah. And basically, they meet like the Avengers and everything, and they just say, "Are we supposed to know who you are?"
Yeah. How long have you would have them have been, what's the word? Like Guardians at this point? Are they new? Are they around? Have they been around a while?
They've been around for, say, like all of this takes place in modern day, like February 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Star-Lord will stick to the origin where he was a kid in the 80s who got taken by aliens. Would say he met the Guardians about 2010. No, 2012, because then it's been 5 years for them.
6.
Oh yeah, it's funny.
I see 8. Wait, no, you said 12, yeah, 6.
Yeah, so it's been 6 years of the Guardians of the Galaxy, so they're more experienced, but they're immature.
Yeah. Because they haven't had any, like,
basically-
super serious threats.
No, I think the most serious thing they've taken on is just, like, Skrulls.
Yeah, I'd say they had a skirmish or two with, Thanos.
Oh no, we know about Thanos, but like he's still like the Guardians say, right, there's some like they say right. Like if Cap says, thanks for helping us with Galactus. And then Solar goes, oh, trust me man, there's way worse out in the universe, which like hints towards Thanos.
I mean like a skirmish, I mean like maybe none of them have fought Galactus, but they've they've maybe seen him. Not Galactus, Thanos. Well, like they know.
Well, Gamora's dad,
Yeah,
so.
obviously all that, but I mean like, the main Guardians together, they've never fought Thanos. I don't know why I keep saying Galactus, but they know about him. I know he's planning something.
Yeah. Then maybe have like a. And then with Guardians of the Galaxy, have them taking on just some random cosmic enemy. And then obviously Silver Surfer's going around now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this would be like just having all the characters there now. Now we can like have stuff like Doctor Strange.
Hmm.
And
Because
Doctor
he's
Strange,
quite late in.
yeah, we'll have him. We'll say he's been around for a while, but he's never had a reason to be there. Like he's been in training. Like he was around. Like he was around during the Ultron event, but he was training to be Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah, like he just started.
Yeah, and like he saw it happen, but the Ancient One said, no, this is not our place.
Yeah.
Now we have, like, that's like Doctor Strange issue 1. Alright, now I want to get into something big. So, for the next big event, which it'll just be like a year of like just random stories essentially.
Yeah.
And then we have our next big event, which not Kree Skrull War, because that'll be too convoluted. Oh yeah, through Captain America comics, we've seen Carol Danvers now.
How many times?
She appears. We'll have her appear as a shield agent, just to mix it up a bit.
So she hasn't got powers yet.
She hasn't got powers, but she's a pilot.
Yeah, so we've seen her piloting. Maybe dropping him off some every now and then.
Yeah. So essentially, there would be a bit where, hang on, I'm just trying to think. Well, our next big event, what could it be?
Ultron.
I don't think Loki's big enough. We'll say
You could
Loki's
have,
just happening.
like, you could have a... He wouldn't be at a massive event, but I think you could have a big Avenger event for just the Avengers of Loki.
Could do.
But like Loki and all of the Ice Giant, all of them. They're kind of like the movie.
Yeah.
But just the Avengers, to say everyone else is busy.
Hmm.
Like, say the X-Men are having problems with, like, just taking care of kids, etc. Because they are still a school.
Yeah, they're just doing regular X-Men stuff. Maybe they've encountered Apocalypse.
Yeah. But actually, that could happen at the same time. You could have them dealing with Apocalypse while the others deal with Loki.
Yeah, that can just be like an explanation for why they're not there.
You could obviously say, the Fantastic Four, you could always just say relationship problems, because that happens quite a bit with them.
Yeah.
Or if you really
And then
want,
we can have
you
like
could
a
have
story
Doom.
arc in theirs where, because my main problem in the Marvel comics is it's nowhere near as connected as the MCU is.
Yeah. For that, you could have, if you want to make it a bit more connected, if you have the... What's it called? You could have, with, like, Sue Storm and everyone, say the reason they don't help. Say Johnny... Say, I can't remember his superhero name. Human Torch, say he helps. Like, the Avengers for a bit. But
No,
say...
have Human Torch meet Spider-Man, because there was a whole, like, friendship between them.
Have them
Yeah,
meet,
like,
but I mean, with the Loki event, because the Fantastic Four are in New York, aren't they?
Yeah.
Aren't the Avengers usually in New York?
Yeah, because Avengers Tower.
You could have that so say Reed if Reed and Sue are together, they break up, so they're both like not superheroing at the time.
Yeah.
And maybe you could have Reed talk to Iron Man or something as friends, etc. And you could have them linked together. And that could be the reason why they're not in. That could be the reason they're not in the Loki event, because they're busy dealing with that.
Yeah, so basically what I'm thinking is, we'll have a Loki event. And so that will basically tie into, actually, no, I got it better. So basically, because Loki, whole point is tricks, like he makes the Avengers not trust each other.
Yeah.
And then the Avengers basically say, like, let's just say, Scott Lang, and we'll say a couple members leave. We'll keep Captain America and Iron Man there.
Yeah.
We'll say like Thor leaves to go deal with stuff in Asgard, because he would say, right, Loki was never meant to be here, something's clearly happening in Asgard, which would be a Thor arc that goes on at the same time.
Yeah, maybe leading up to Ragnarok, like much later.
Yeah, we can have another Ragnarok.
Not as bad as a
But yeah,
movie.
and so they basically decide we need more Avengers. And that's when we have Spider-Man join up.
Spider-Man will be older at this point. How many, would you say this has happened, been a year yet? So he's 17 or 18 maybe?
Yeah, this is second year, so because everyone prefers the younger Spider-Man, so we'll keep him, we'll say he's in college now, because everyone likes it when he's like splitting it between
Say he's
education and stuff.
17.
Yeah, we'll say he's not quite 18 yet.
So then Tony can also make the argument where they need more members and that they need. See, it'd be more Iron Man saying that. Well, they need more members and he's not exactly a kid anymore.
Yeah, because like he's encountered Spider-Man quite a few times and says, right, the kid's ready now.
Well, it can be
And that
like
can lead to like an arc where like Miles says, right, we were partners and now you leave me behind as soon as you got the chance.
yeah, that could lead to maybe another fight. Like they could have a rematch.
No, I was thinking that could lead into Miles having his own series. Like he would say, right, if you don't need me, I don't need you.
No, I meant as in. I don't mean as in like a full bunch of issue. I mean like they say the rematch, they have like a one shot.
Yeah.
Just as a thing.
I think this could go into Miles having his own series.
Yeah, then they split up for a while because they had an actual fight, and they're like, you clearly don't trust me, etc. We're not friends anymore. And then he has a lot of time to himself.
Now I think he would say, well, Peter Parker thinks he's too good for me now.
Yeah.
Because he's an Avenger now. The X-Men will carry on, I think, introduce like a couple members like Colossus and
Classic characters.
Jubilee. Yeah, just like make it sort of like acquire new members over the years. Have them like encountered Magneto and people like that.
Yeah. Would Sabretooth be as big a character as he is in the movie, or would you make him normal comic character?
I think because Wolverine will be like the one X-Men who has their own series.
Yeah. He also has a bigger past than everyone else.
Yeah. I think have Deadpool have his own spin-off series by now.
Oh yeah, Deadpool would need it. He's Deadpool.
Yeah. Yeah, Deadpool's got his own series going on, but that's not really important to any main kind of story. We'll introduce Cable through that, but that'll be about it.
Yeah.
Just trying to think, we'll have Black Panther appear as well.
Would he play a big role, or would he just be opening Wakanda?
Actually, have him, have the Avengers travel to Wakanda for whatever reason, and then they encounter Black Panther.
That'd be a cool story arc.
Yeah, and then basically, because obviously they're still short on members, they say, right, how about like Captain America's shield gets destroyed during the Loki event?
Yeah.
During the Galactus, just there's a decent amount of time where he doesn't have a shield.
Say he got damaged, say he got really badly damaged, and then it cracks even further in the Loki event.
Yeah, and basically they go through shield files and discover Wakanda. They go there, encounter Black Panther. Black Panther's not happy about them being
They have
in
a
his
fight.
country. Yeah, and then he basically, because Wakanda's closed off from the world, Daima makes the point, maybe you should come back into the world.
Yeah.
And then that's when he says, look, I'll think about it, but Wakanda's in its own kind of condition right now, so I'll be an Avenger when you need me, but not right now.
But I'm also a king, so country takes priority,
Yeah,
mate.
Yeah, like Black Panther deals with like political stuff, which may lead into some kind of civil war in Wakanda.
Yeah.
Obviously not the comic event, but like an actual just war going on in Wakanda. So
Yeah.
he would say, right, we need to come out to the outside world, and there'll be people who disagree and like try to overthrow him.
Like the ape guy, I can't remember his name.
We'll just call him Man Ape, because that's what it's called in the comics.
Yeah.
Right, we covered a fair bit of ground. So this is like the first 2-3 years, and we've basically got everyone introduced by this point, unless we're forgetting someone.
Doctor Doom.
Oh, we'll have that as a Fantastic Four thing, like, Reed basically...
During the Loki stuff.
Yeah. I think now we have... Okay, so basically throughout the Guardians of the Galaxy, so basically for next year, so we're on year 3?
I can't actually think of characters we haven't introduced yet.
Okay, so we're getting close to basically, we've got everyone here, so now we can do something really big, and I think what we do, Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah, I agree.
So basically, throughout Guardians of the Galaxy, and maybe like other characters like Doctor Strange and Thor, we introduce Infinity Stones. Not have them like hiding like they are in the MCU, but like Thor encounters the Time Stone, for example.
Yeah.
And then, like, he says, oh yeah, Odin, what's a Time Stone? And then that's when, like, Odin goes, oh, shit. Those were meant to be gone.
Yeah, it's like that old shit moment.
Yeah, and then he basically just says, right, Thor, something big's about to happen, and you basically gotta listen to everything I say.
Yeah, like, shit's gone down, son.
Yeah. And he basically says, are you sure that there's an Infinity Stone going around? And then, like, the Guardians of the Galaxy encounter one, we'll say Doctor Strange encounters one, and maybe, I don't know, because the rest is going to be done through Guardians.
Yeah, most of them.
Yeah, and then the Guardians basically find out that, I don't know, we'll say the Nova Corps have one, and that they got decimated. And then when they go there, they find basically a message for Gamora saying, you're next, or something. Like, something only Gamora would know about Thanos, and she basically says, right, my dad's gonna wreck everyone.
Like, he ain't fucking around.
Yeah, she says, right, Peter, this is a serious threat. And say, like, they track the next Infinity Stone, we'll say, like, the Reality Stone is on Earth. And then that's when, like, that's why Thanos goes to Earth. He wrecks the Avengers, because obviously, it's like, the Guardians can't get there in time.
Say it's in Wakanda.
Yeah, it could do, actually.
Because that would also link in Black Panther again.
Because that's... Yeah. Yeah, we'll get to the Soul Stone in a bit, because basically they know where all the Infinity Stones are, except for the Soul Stone. And like even Thanos is thinking, where is it? And what we find out is it's inside a being called Adam Warlock. Who, as we know, is like one of the most important Infinity characters ever.
Pretty much.
And that's when, like, it's basically just a fight to protect Adam Warlock. And at the end of this event, they lock up the Infinity Gauntlet in like a Stark built containment thing. And then we see Ultron still kicking around, and he's like uploaded himself into that same Stark deck. And that's like setting up the next event, because Marvel love their events.
They do.
Yeah, so basically we have like a year of just normal comics again. We'll say like Spider-Man's had a team up with the Guardians of the Galaxy where he got a symbiote.
Yeah, maybe I can't remember his name. Doctor Sinister, Mr. Sinister.
Mr. Sinister.
Like he like meets. That happens. Maybe
Yeah,
you get.
he's an X-Man.
I don't know. No, that's what happens with the X-Men at the time.
Oh yeah, so they meet Mr. Sinister, and that's another way of bringing in Gambit.
Yeah. Maybe you could have what was it? Evil Angel? I can't remember what he was called.
Archangel, which is more of an apocalypse thing.
Oh yeah. What I can't. Mr. Sinister did something similar. I can't remember what it was.
Hmm. So yeah, basically that's going on. And now the final event, which this is like their final event for a while. Like Spider-Man's keeping the symbiote because he doesn't know it's Venom yet.
Yeah.
And the Guardians like can't give him any advice on it because they don't understand what it is. They think it's just a really fancy suit.
Yeah.
And then we have Ultron with the Infinity Gauntlet goes missing.
So shit's gone down.
Yeah. Then this is like the big colossal event. Like it's the comics version of what everything that's been building up to the Infinity War is.
Yeah. It's like the
Ultron
big
with the
dog.
Infinity Gauntlet versus all the new characters have been introduced. And we'll say that say like he beats the Avengers, and then he basically just says, right, there's more things out in the universe, and then he goes into space, which is how you involve the Guardians. And we'll say Spider-Man's still in space at this point. Like he's moved out of Aunt May's house just so there's not like Aunt May's panicking saying, a guy who's basically my son has been missing for months now, please help.
Yeah.
And the Avengers know this as well, so it's not like Spider-Man's in any real danger. I'm trying to think now.
How long would you have had him move out for at that point?
We'll say a couple months.
How old would he be? Would he be 18 then at this point?
We'll say 18.
What edging 18?
Yeah, I'd say roundabouts. Miles is like 2. Did we say Miles is 2 years younger?
Yeah, so he's 16.
Yeah.
So important
like,
question.
Spider-Man's taking on more of it, even more of a mentor role for him.
Would him and no? The question is, would him and Miles have made up by now?
They haven't really been talking. They're not mad at each other, but they just haven't been talking as much as they used to.
Yeah.
And when they do talk, it's like they just, hey man, this is.
They're not mad at
weird.
each other, but it's tense.
Yeah.
Like it's an awkward situation.
They kind of just think, what have we got to talk about?
Well, yeah, I think Miles at this point is still slightly mad at Peter, but not like to the point where he wouldn't talk to him, just upset.
Yeah. I think what we do with this is, basically the reason Ultron's going into space is because he thinks that, say back during the Ultron event, Spider-Man kicked his ass. Like,
Yeah.
that's what proved Spider-Man to Iron Man. He saw him just kick the shit out of a deadly villain.
Yeah, single-handedly or something.
Yeah, and Ultron thinks, right, I've beaten all the Avengers, like, we'll say they're even dead, because of the Infinity Gauntlet. Then he goes, nah, what do I want to do? And then he just remembers Spider-Man and goes off. And the Guardians resurrect the Avengers with the Infinity Gauntlet when they get away from him. And then they beat Ultron, and that's like the last event for a while. And then like Spider-Man's next story arc is him finding the symbiotes alive, which leads into, let's just say, a Venom story. Like we introduced Eddie Brock as well.
All the fact you could, all the fact before that you could have him like actually properly make up with Miles, like them become friends again.
We have like survivors from the Infinity Gauntlet attack. Like Miles is one of them. Then we have like just random members of the X-Men who survived. 4. And then like he goes, look, man, this is serious stuff. We need to put differences aside for this.
Yeah. Could Because Spider-Man to be an X-Men, could Miles be an X-Men?
Yeah, it's just mutants are more considered your form of your powers.
Yeah, I know that, but like, they could have a storyline of Miles being an X-Man for a bit.
What if we ever saw the X-Men already in space with the Phoenix Force?
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah. So like, okay, so we're changing up a bit. Phoenix Force, like the X-Men are already in space, so that's how they survived. So it's basically just the Avengers who are dead.
Yeah.
And the X-Men are in space dealing with the Phoenix Force, and we'll say Jean Grey. Do you want to do the Jean Grey dying thing?
I'm not sure. Actually, before we do that, do we talk about the love triangle? Because is there one in this one? Like the classic triangle between Wolverine, like Grey, like Cyclops and Jean.
Yeah, I think have it briefly.
Like, but is it still a thing?
Yeah, because there's still like the massive age difference. Because you said basically came to the conclusion young-ish X-Men.
Yeah. But then you have the whole thing of Wolverine only looking like he's 30, and at this point the X-Men would at least have to be like mid to late 20s.
Yeah, and like Cyclops and Wolverine actually have a fight over this, and then Jean Grey says, "Right, I don't want anything to do with this. If you're gonna act like children."
Yeah.
We don't have this whole Cyclops turning evil thing.
No, we just have him very mad at Wolverine.
No, I mean like overall, like when he goes from Professor X's golden boy to we need to keep mutants off.
Oh yeah, I remember that. He essentially become Extreme Magneto, didn't he?
Yeah, we're ignoring that just because...
I didn't like that.
Cyclops is meant to be a hero. He's meant to be basically like a mutant Captain America, a Boy Scout, so...
Yeah.
That.
That's how I've always seen him.
Yeah. I'm kind of stuck now, because... Okay, so with Spider-Man comics, we'll basically just have him like encountering other villains like Rhino, Kraven, this,
yeah,
and like his big event will be him and Miles taking on the Sinister Six.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, so we basically covered all the crossover events.
Everyone's fairly linked up at this point.
Yeah, we'll say the Guardians have a Kree-Skrull War, which introduces the classic Captain Marvel, who goes to Earth, meets Carol Danvers, then she becomes Miss Marvel, then eventually Captain Marvel, because I do quite like her as Captain Marvel.
You could have at some point, like as a mini thing, like Spider-Man meets Black Panther through him just finding someone vibranium investigating. Because then you could have them connected.
Yes. They like... Vibranium comes up on the black market in New York, and then Black Panther travels to New York.
Yes, they fight over it, but then they are, like, not becoming friends, but, like, you know what I mean, meeting.
Yeah, and then have him, like, say, so you're an Avenger, and then, like, he realizes that at this point, the Avengers were desperate for members, and he says, right, if they're recruiting a child, they desperately need more people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the X-Men have had their Phoenix Force and Apocalypse by this point.
And pretty much all them big, like, they're big villains.
Yeah, they've had Magneto. Magneto probably the earliest one on, because Magneto.
Yeah.
Right, we've introduced basically everyone as well, except for the... I suppose we have Ghost Rider introduced.
Yeah, Ghost Rider, because Ghost Rider's always been quite late on.
I mean, how would you introduce Ghost Rider?
I'd have him by himself. Maybe he like meets. I don't know. I don't really see him like interacting with most of the universe. Do you?
Yeah, because it like kind of goes into the. We haven't introduced Daredevil yet.
Yeah, Daredevil's not like. They're all smaller characters, so they don't really like. They obviously interact, but only with like other small characters.
I just had a brilliant idea.
What?
going back to the Ultron having the Infinity Gauntlet event, we'll say like, because like obviously the X-Men are off-world. We'll say the Fantastic Four's doing something in the negative zone. Spider-Man's off in space with the Guardians for just... It's only mini story, people. I know they're a weird pair, but it's just a mini story of introducing the symbiote. Right, so basically Earth is defenseless, because the Avengers are gone, Fantastic Four are gone, X-Men are gone.
Yeah.
This is when more people just from like street level start to step up. This is when we see like
Luke
Daredevil,
Cage.
yeah, Daredevil, Punisher. Like Punisher's been around. We'll say Punisher's been around,
I'd
but
say
he
he's.
hasn't had a.
I'd say
It will
he's
have him appear like in a Spider-Man comic. 'Cause that's
Yeah.
how it originally ended. But now, like, there's like just a one-shot saying the missing Avengers, and it has like Punisher. And then that's when we have like Punisher #1, Daredevil #1. So they've appeared in like Spider-Man and I'm trying to think of another. They've appeared in other people's comics essentially. Like Luke Cage has appeared in like Iron Man or something. And then we'll have Iron Fist and Luke Cage meet in a comic, and then they form Heroes for Hire. Heroes for Hire becomes an ongoing thing. So there's Punisher and Daredevil. Maybe even go into Defenders if people wanted to.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how the Defenders are formed. Like they've both been around for a while, and then they formed the Defenders when the Avengers are gone.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, so I think we've covered basically we haven't covered the cosmic stuff. Maybe have like another. We've already done 2 Infinity events by now. Basically, just introduce all the cosmic beings, like maybe even the One Above All, Eternity, Mistress Death, all through the Guardians of the Galaxy.
I'd say Mr. Strath goes through Deadpool again.
Yeah, but she's always been more of a Thanos kind of person.
No, but I mean, like, that's like Deadpool could meet Thanos, like they could have the thing where he's banished from death.
Yeah. And let's just say like this event like takes place over a couple months. Let's say Deadpool gets hired to be a hero. Like people are paying him to take on villains who are terrorizing them.
Yeah.
And then Deadpool basically decides, hey, I'm making money and this feels good. And then he becomes a hero.
Yeah, so he could meet, like, say, Captain America through that, like, shield and everything.
Yeah, maybe have Deadpool pair up with S.H.I.E.L.D. every now and again. Because I think he'll try to join the X-Men, then Wolverine will think, I'm not letting you near teenagers.
And you're not an X-Man. And you're not a mutant.
Yeah. It basically says, you're not trustable.
Yeah.
And also he wouldn't trust them, like he would expect them to like try and kill someone on the way or something. I think we've about introduced everyone, like, I think with the X-Men, because there's just so many, introduce them
It's impossible to do, like, in one video, because there's so many X-Men.
Yeah, I think we'll say, if we want to do a sequel to this, we'll say this was the Avengers.
Yeah.
So, thanks for watching everyone, it's greatly appreciated. I thought my game bugged then. It is greatly appreciated.
Yeah. So, anyone who's watched the end, you are a beast in my eyes.
You made it to the end. Holy shit. You've just been listening to two 16-year-olds talk about the Avengers for
I'm 17, what are you talking about?
Oh yeah, sure.
Young'un.
You've been listening to two teenagers just talk about the Avengers.
Yeah, Jamie's
My
still a
God, you have more
baby.
patience to me,
He's
man.
fucking like Miles in this story, and I'm Peter.
Yeah, except for the part where you're not, you know...
A super
Great.
genius.
I was gonna say always morally upstanding, but you say stuff that would be more dignified for Deadpool to say, but that's besides the point.
Also, I don't wear red.
Because the bad guys can't see you bleed.
Yeah. I don't have super strength, surprisingly. Compared to you, I do, but normally no.
Yeah, this is just the rest of this is just gonna be Liam jerking himself off until his arm breaks. So thanks for watching.
It's done.
See you next time.
Yeah, have a
Bye.
good day.